Hey y'all, my name's Adrian. Today I'm going to be showing you how to plant onions and potatoes, okay? So we're going to start out with potatoes, and then later we're going to add the onions, and I'll show you how that works. But the benefit of doing the onions with the potatoes is that it helps with pests, it helps with soil health, and I've even heard some people say that it actually improves the taste of the potatoes. So these are our potatoes. These ones right here are already what they call chitting, and they have these little eyes right on the potatoes, which, like right here, you can see this is before they start chitting. They're just little bitty things like this, okay? These seed potatoes here we grew last year, and they've been sitting in our pantry for months. So the shoots are really long, and they're still great for planting. Okay, these are bought from the grocery store. All these are bought from the grocery store. These are organic russet potatoes. These are the same thing here. They're just not chitting out like that. I wanted to show you that it's okay to plant them at different stages like this. And then these were bought at a feed store. These are what they call seed potatoes, okay? And a lot of people say these are the only ones you can use, but we've actually had more success with this, which was bought from the store, than seed potato. But we're gonna do all of them just to show you how it works. We like to soak our onions in water while we're doing other things. So while we're doing the potatoes, the onions are soaking in the water, and this is gonna hydrate them really well before we plant them in the ground. When we first started gardening, we used a tiller to get things broken up, but now that our beds are established, we use a broad fork to aerate the soil, and it works very well. The first method that we'll be discussing in this video is probably one of the most popular methods, and that's the mounding method. And basically, you're just going to create a trench, and inside that trench, you're going to place your spuds. And as they grow over the season, you'll build soil around the base of the plant. Once your small trench is dug, you can begin putting the potatoes down inside of it. We like to space the spuds 12 inches apart, and we use what is called a jig, basically a stick, in this case a sunflower stem that is dried up, and we've made it 12 inches long so they can just move this along as a guide while they place the potatoes down inside the trench. And notice how they keep the potato sprouts facing upward as they go along. Right here we're planting the potatoes whole, but I will also show you how to cut them before planting as well. Now it is time to bury the potatoes with the surrounding soil that was removed for the trench. And the kids really enjoy this part, and it's always fun for me to watch them do this. So I'll let y'all enjoy this without my dialogue for a moment. Once we've buried the potatoes, we like to put a layer of compost on top of that, and this will just help feed the plants as they grow during the season and help them to be healthy. These are some seed potatoes that we grew last season, and they've been sitting in our pantry ever since. And so they've grown these longer shoots on them, and they're still fantastic for planting, and they will grow as potatoes. All you do is make sure that the sprouts are facing up just like the other potatoes we did. And so as you're burying them, you just keep that in mind. So he's just gonna make sure that he doesn't cut through the eyes, and that we have at least 3 eyes on each potato cutting.
Two,
so let's
three.
see.
1, 2, 3. It's about 4.
All right, and then we're putting ash again. This is gonna prevent any decaying or disease. For the no-dig method, we use a stick again at 12 inches long to space the spuds out, and just make sure that the soil has been aerated, that it's not compacted too much. Then we lightly move back the soil underneath the spuds and set them in probably about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then we just bring the surrounding soil around the potatoes. Next, we like to add a generous layer of compost on top, kind of creating a mounding effect. And then once we're finished with that, we put a mulch on top of it. In this video, we're adding leaf litter, which is fantastic. And as the plants grow, we will put more and more around the base of it. For onions, we like to make a small trench, which helps speed up the planting process. It also helps catch rainwater and hydrate the onions during the early season. All right, so these onions have been soaking in this water the whole time that we were doing the potatoes, so they're nice and hydrated. So now we're just gonna take them, put them in the ground like this, bury them. Maybe a little spacer here out of this little plant fiber. And this is about 4 to 4.5 inches. So I'm gonna use that, just stick it in the ground, put soil around it. Some people recommend just burying the roots, okay? And yes, that's ideal, but in a practical sense, it's not realistic because the wind is going to knock that over so much easier. So what I do is I bury it up to about, here to hold it better in the soil. And as it matures, you can remove the soil around it. We are planting these onions right down the middle of our potato beds so that they get the benefits of growing side by side. Onions help repel pests like aphids and certain beetles that commonly attack potatoes. And both of them have different root systems. For example, potatoes grow deep tubers while onions have shallow roots, making them excellent companion plants. Another thing that's really cool about onions is that they reduce fungal diseases in the soil that might otherwise affect potatoes.
Yeah.
For the no-dig method of planting onions, you can use a rod or a stick to make holes and then drop your onions inside of them. Or you could simply use your finger to make little indentions and then drop the onions inside of them. Just make sure to keep this soil well fertilized with fresh compost throughout the season for the best results. Trying to do a quiet video. Yeah, go over them several times. Oh, real good. There you go. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified each time I put a brand new video out. You say bye, Toothless. See you guys.